So, kakabili mo lang ng bahay. Super excited ka. It is the start of your new life. Pero oh no, sa China ka pala bumili ng bahay. And what is this? Gawa sa champurado at choknat, yung pader at poste mo. Well, better luck next time. Kasi ganito yung isasagot sa inyo nung gumawa ng bahay.
我一辈子几百万块的钱，到这个房子卖给我，
你活该，所以说是。
我活该啊！
So yan, my dudes, ay isang example nung tinatawag nila na tofu dreg projects sa China, which are basically substandard na mga construction projects doon, which ngayon medyo talamak na ito na pangyayari doon. So sanay na sila na yung mga bahay nila is halos pinagdikit lang ng laway at dasal ng mga lola nila.
This is the steel bar used in the construction of a building in China.
Oh, malugaw na. Walang lasa. Holy crap, my dudes. So kung makikita natin, isang napansin ko is yung anilyo nila. Sobrang nipis nung diameter na ginamit. Also, my dudes, hindi ko sure kung si Kuya nga ba yung nagmamay-ari ng pinakamarakas na kurot sa balat ng lupa or talagang sobrang weak lang nitong bakal na to. So it is very brittle and ayaw natin na ganyan yung bakal na ilalagay natin dun sa mga poste natin. That is not a good sign.
还有方法？还有法律吗？
Oh no, what the? Sa unang tingin, my dudes, is medyo suspicious yung kanilang reinforcement bar. So kung ganito yung ginawa sa inyo ng contractor nyo, feeling ko magsusumbong na tayo sa City Hall or dun sa tito natin na laging nakatank top na puting sando. Pero my dudes, bago tayo magsumbong sa kanya is tingnan muna natin maigi yung ganitong bar. So ito yung tinatawag natin na fiber reinforced polymer bars. So merong actually na mga reinforcement bars na gawa sa ganitong klaseng materyales. So fiber reinforced polymers, which basically gawa siya sa parang mga fibers na pinalibutan ng polymer or some sort of plastic. And yun yung pinaka-material na alternative dun sa traditional natin na bakal na mga rebar. So, not to worry, meron talagang ganitong klaseng mga rebars, my dudes. Steel bar broke when I dropped it. Oh, shiba-liba, man. Typical causes kung bakit nagiging brittle yung bakal is one, either masyadong mataas yung carbon content niya. So, hindi na siya ganun ka plastic or hindi na siya malleable. And then another cause kung bakit nagiging brittle na ganyan yung bakal is overbending. So, as a rule of thumb, my dudes, pag nagpapabend ako ng anilyo or any type of reinforcing bars dun sa site is one bend lang. Kasi minsan, pag nagkamali ng bend, ang gagawin nila, ibabalik, tas ibebend ulit. So, that causes some micro-stress fractures dun sa bakal. And hindi na siya kasing lakas nung kumpara dun sa isang bend lang. So, yun is one other cause of brittleness sa bakal. And then another, which is a big no-no para sa akin, my dudes. And pag nakita kong ginawa ito ng mga construction worker, oh my gulay. So basically, ang ginagawa ng iba pag ganito na kalalaking bakal is hindi na nila mabend ng mano-manong ganon with a bender. Bino-blowtorch nila or ginagamitan nila nung parang acetylene torch para lumambot yung bakal, and then pag lumambot na yung metal, saka na nila i-bend. So that is not a good practice. As much as possible, cold bend dapat lahat ng bends ng reinforcing bars nyo. In a big wind, the building's exterior wall insulation and exterior wall tiles fell off as a whole. Oh man. Oh man. Dude, this is not the kind of nahubadan that you wanna see. Naalis yung pinaka-facade ng kanilang building, which is typically insulation. Ang minsan ginagawa dito sa mga cold countries is nilalagyan nila ng foam. And then yung foam na yun, dun sila maglalagay ng plaster or mga exterior cladding and stuff like that. And if we are going to zoom in with our eagle eyes, makikita natin is meron silang mga grooves sa wall, and kadalasan yung mga grooves na yan is purely for aesthetic purposes or pangpaganda lang ng building. But in some cases, yung grooves na to, it serves two purposes. Is one, pag nagkaroon ng expansion yung materials, is hindi sila magbubungguan, so may gap. And then two, is kadalasan, yung material na ito, dahil may gap dyan, pag nasira itong material sa taas, ay yun lang yung matatanggal. Dahil nga sa gap, the damage will stop there. Pero yung ginawa nila dito is mukhang isang buong exterior wall insulation yung dinikit nila, which is a bad idea. So kung sinegment nila yon, hindi mangyayari to. Isa lang siguro yung matatanggal, maybe 1 or 2. Dishonor on your ancestors.
This city is located in southern China. On June 19, a 7-story building collapsed in its entirety, with unknown casualties.
Dude, 7 stories, tas ganun na siya.
The building fell to pieces, and there were not even a few steel bars in sight. They must have been stolen by foreign forces.
It must have been stolen by foreign forces. Ano yun, ninakaw ng aliens yung kanilang mga rebars. So that is not a good sign na wala silang ginamit na rebars. Because, you know, in reinforced concrete, yung concrete at yung mga rebars is usually dapat magkasama yung dalawang yun. Para yung suka at toyo sa adobo eh. Without one, the adobo will taste weird, di ba? Because the concrete will act against compressive forces or yung mga pumipisil na forces. And then, yung mga steel bars naman ay para sa mga tensile or yung pahila na forces.
SEG Tower once set a record as Shenzhen speed by building a floor every 2.7 days. It later became a landmark building in Shenzhen. The rapid construction speed of the building has made people worried. The shaking of the building for 3 consecutive days has earned the SEG Tower the nickname of Shaky Building.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so tulad ng sabi niya kanina, 1 floor every 2.7 days. That is unheard of actually. Because typically, my dudes, pag kami gumagawa at in normal circumstances, yung concrete na ginagamit namin, which is, you know, normal concrete cement mixture, mga 21 days to a month yung curing time niya. So when I say curing time, ganun katagal bago niya ma-achieve yung full strength niya. Before that time, hindi pa siya dapat a-applyan ng forces kasi hindi pa siya fully cured eh. So hindi nyo pa pwede patungan ng isa pang poste, yung poste na nag-cure pa lang, because that will weaken the curing post. So kumbaga sa mga nag-gym, nag-heal pa lang yung muscles mo, tinira mo na naman. So chest day ka ng chest day. Nagtataka ka ba't di lumalaki yung chest mo? That is because you didn't give your muscles enough time to recover, which is very, very important. Matulog ka naman paminsan-minsan at kumain ka ng mga chicken breast. Huwag puro cup noodles. Hindi lalaki muscles mo doon. Asan na ako? So yun nga, tulad ng sinasabi ko, yung curing time for concrete is very, very important. So this is the promenade in Nandian called the Integrity Promenade. It collapsed entirely yesterday in the gale. So natumba siya dahil kung titignan natin ang malapitan itong mga columns is parang dinikit lang ito ng laway at kanin, my dudes. Yun, walang kabakal-bakal in between. No? So talagang matutumba yan. So semento lang yata yung pinandikit nila, which is not really a great pandikit, my dudes. Very, very ironic yung pangalan niya na Integrity Promenade kasi walang structural integrity whatsoever ito. Hindi ko alam kung saan gawa itong biga na ito. Parang gawa sa Milo. Why did you use Milo on your beams? May energy gap ba yung beams nyo? Mukhang lupa yung ginamit nila dito or buhangin galing sa disyerto, which is not a good type of sand to use. So typically yung mga sand na ginagamit sa construction ay gawa sa crushed na gravel or malalaking mga boulders kina-crush nila, and then yung mga sand na nanggagaling doon is yun yung ginagamit, and then minimix na rin sa onting mga river sand. This is not a good sign kasi medyo reddish siya. So kung river sand yan, that would be more grayish. Dishonor on your cow. Dishonor on your concrete mixture. Dishonor sa kalabaw ng lolo mo. Okay, so... Oh, dude. What?
2 months ago, the developer delivered the newly completed building to its home buyers, and the homeowners found severe quality problems with the building.
Okay, so one, bakit ang dali niyang natatanggal yung mga yun? Mas matindi pa yung dikit ng takip ng Yakult eh, kaysa dun sa pagkadikit nila dito sa kanilang mga boards. And two, bakit yung door jamb nila ganun lang karipis? So typically, yung door jamb na ginagamit namin sa mga bahay is solid na wood. Because yan yung hawak ng pintuan natin, may duso. As much as possible, gusto natin na matibay yung ating mga door jambs. Kaya nga, yung kadalasang sinasabi nila is pag nag-earthquake, you stand underneath a door jamb kasi, you know, solid wood dapat yon. Pero kung nag-earthquake and you stood underneath this door jamb, wala, isa ka sa unang madadaganan. Hindi ko alam kung paano hindi pa nababaklas itong hinge nila dito eh. So, that is probably some ancient Chinese magic.
In this neighborhood, the exterior wall of a high-rise
Ang laki
residential
ng crack.
building with more than 30 floors has a black crack from the ground floor to its top. Online Chinese have judged the crack to be more than 50 meters long and as wide as a finger based on the height of the building.
So, hindi ko alam kung sino yung sumukat niyan na brave guy na pinasok niya yung finger niya dun sa crack and he said, it's as wide as a finger. Pero, you know, that is not a good sign. So, any crack na kaya mong ipasok yung coin, yun, that is probably most likely structural crack na yon. Hindi na siya sa palitada lang or yung tinatawag natin na hair-like cracks. And if that happens sa construction nyo, it's best to consult a structural engineer. What next steps to take para maayos yung ganung klaseng crack? So, yun.
全部是纸做的哈，你看一下，全部是橡皮纸，全部是纸做的，看一下。
Okay, so yung door nila may kita natin gawa sa papel, which is medyo common yan. May mga door talaga na gawa sa papel, lightweight sila na doors. And kadalasan ginagamit lang ito para sa mga, you know, unimportant na partitions. So let's say meron kayong pantry, pwedeng gawin nyo doon is yung lightweight lang na door na tulad nito. Kasi hindi naman imperative na walang makapasok na magnanakaw sa pantry. Anong nanakawin niya? Yung corned beef nyo? So, mas importante na solid yung door sa inyong mga kwarto para hindi kayo mapasok. So, dun gagamit tayo ng mga solid na mga panel doors. Oh, man. What?
This isn't showing the steel of the developers. It's showing the conscience they have lost. Let's take a look at the building materials. There's no cement. Where did the cement go?
So unfortunate. So yung mga gantong klase na tinatawag natin na ampaw or honeycombing, ang mga causes nito is one, not enough cement. So hindi enough yung semento na hinalo. So hindi proper yung cement mixture. Or two is hindi siniksik maigi at puro graba lang yung napunta sa isang area. So kadalasan pag magbubuhos ng slab, dapat meron pa rin tayo nung taga-siksik na ganon. Or meron tayo nung nag-vibrator dun sa ating slab. And there we go, my dudes. I guess with that, dito na natin tatapusin yung ating video. So, hopefully, meron kayo onting natutunan. If the answer to that is yes, palike naman itong video. Kung ayaw nyong bisitahin kayo ng multo ng makinain yung tokwa.